WSKY SkyRock Talk Radio, where the rock don't stop. A-Town, we're on the air when the others are smiling and joking. WSKY SkyRock Talk Radio is cooking and smoking, so lock it in and rip the knob off of it. Welcome to the place for perseverance, passion, purpose, struggles, and breakthroughs, friendships, and new beginnings. The place that changes the way you live. We're diving deep into setbacks. We're really setups for major success stories, and we're meeting some incredible, amazing people, exactly like you and like me, but they've done a few things a little bit differently and a few things a little bit longer, and that's what makes them amazing. Please take a moment and subscribe to our YouTube channel and this podcast platform, because we're coming together. We have come together to build the strongest rock in reaching our community, our city, our country with kindness movement, social media in this area, your area, has ever seen. The more we share our story, your story, the more lives we can change. Thank you for joining this movement. Thanks for listening. And let's remember to remind ourselves every day we're only one small decision away from our next success story.
You can now hear us on all podcast platforms: Spotify for podcasters, Spotify for creators, Apple Podcasts, Samsung Podcasts, Amazon Alexa, Amazon Music, Chromecast Player, web browser, iHeartRadio, and YouTube.
It's not easy to get over bumps in the road, setbacks, and disappointments. It takes a strong will, courage, and nothing but faith in God. We must say, we refuse to be trapped in the past. We're pressing on. We're straining forward, knowing God has great things in store. We will not accept whatever comes our way in life. We are born to win. We are created to be a champion. Love and kindness to you. Be kind in love always, person to person, one kindness at a time. Let's reach our community, our city, our country with kindness. Welcome. This is Season 3, Episode 6. We've been talking about what is a setback, because when we read the Word, even God's people go through setbacks. But those setbacks are really setups for a really good, successful story. Now, one of the things we've talked about was the attitude. It could be a setback if we allow it to be a setback, or it could be a setup if we have the right attitude to get past it. We've also discussed to have a setback, we have to have a goal or a vision that we want to reach, or setback from a goal or from a vision, and that is where our character change comes from. During that setback, there is something the Lord wants to do with us. He wants to do in us for us to move forward. Now, let's add something else that we've learned. A setback is a setup for a comeback. Attitude is so important. It's during those setbacks, there is a character development. And here's the reason why. The vision is bigger than us. God must grow us. Take Moses leading the people, and they complained, but God was developing them to be able to handle those giants in the promised land. Setbacks are when God is trying to grow us and move us. Now, let's understand, sometimes a setback is because of sin. Even preachers and pastors sin. Now, there is no reason for it other than they are human. Hello? And they live in this sinful flesh. They have desires. They have pride, just like everyone else. So why are we shocked when they sin? Setbacks could be because of a bad attitude that we have before God. The thing about God's grace is God never leaves us or forsakes us. When we confess our sin, God empowers us to continue on our journey that helps us fulfill the vision He has given us. When it comes to going forward with God, we must treat criticism like chewing bubble gum. We chew it, but we don't swallow it. We don't let that criticism get inside of us. If we please everybody else and we don't please God, we are pleasing the wrong one. We must be able to handle criticism and understand that we're going to get depressed. We're going to get down. We're going to get discouraged. Why? Once again, because the vision is not ours. The vision is God's vision. We must remember when it comes to a setback, we're doing what we're doing for the glory of God and for the benefits of other people. So many times we lose track of who we are and who we're doing it for and why we're doing it. In a setback, we want people to help and carry us forward. Let me share a word. 1 Samuel chapter 30 and verse 6. David was greatly distressed because the men were talking of stoning him. Each one was bitter in spirit because of his sons and daughters. But David found strength in the Lord his God. Now think about this. The enemy came into their camp, destroyed their camp, killed their sons and raped their daughters, all of that evil. And David was greatly distressed. And the men were looking at stoning him because they were bitter. Of course they were. They were bitter in spirit. But what did the word say? David found strength in the Lord his God. David was in great danger because all of his men were very bitter about losing their sons and daughters. But David found that strength and found that encouragement in the Lord. Listen, we cannot wait for people to encourage us. There comes a time in our life that we must make our own birthday cake, blow out our own candles, and have our own party because God is faithful. We are who we are by the grace of God. The character, that's what God is looking for. He looks at our heart. He judges us by our heart, not by what we say, not by how we look, but when He puts the tape measure around us to measure us, He doesn't put it around my head. He puts it around our heart. And that's how He measures us. Martin Luther King. We just also recently celebrated Martin Luther King Day in the month of February. He was a man after God's own heart. Just love God. Just walk with God. Be obedient. And if we can get the vertical right between us and God, the horizontal is going to take care of itself. Love others out of the love of God that pours into us and out of us. But if we can't love others, if we can't love our boss or our co-workers, I don't have that love in me. God has to instill that, and it has to flow out of us so our relationship with God helps our relationship with other people. If we're not connected to God, then we're never going to have that peace. We're never going to have that unity. We're never going to have that purpose. We're never going to have that direction that we need in our life. We need to love God, and out of that love flows the loving people. That's how really simple it is. We want to get along and be happy and be joyful and peaceful in the flesh. And that, if that's apart from God, it's never going to happen. Our world is in the shape that it's in because we have gravitated away from God. When we come back to God, when we repent, when we ask God to lead us, then our lives are structured, our lives are organized in a way that He has planned for us. We are who we are by the grace of God, And any setback is a setup to get our character, to get our attitude, to get our heart, to get any sin out of our way so we can refocus, refresh, and refuel so we can move forward.
Thank you for listening all around the world. The United States, France, United Kingdom, Brazil, Belgium, Algeria, Morocco, Burkina Faso, Senegal, Switzerland, Italy, Congo, Canada, Laos, Poland, Ivory Coast, Luxembourg, Tunisia, Romania, Gambia, Cameroon, Chad, Singapore, Bulgaria, Trinidad and Tobago, Ethiopia, Czech Republic, Pakistan, Russia, Guinea, Gabon, Republic of the Congo, Israel, Norway, and the Netherlands.